Hey guys, I've had a question on section 3C, question number 8 on the homework. So I'll pull that one up. And it has to do with, it's like an amortization schedule. It's a mini amortization schedule. What they want you to do is, you know, in the previous section, you figured out how to find the payment, the loan payment. But what they're wanting you to do here is calculate the amount of that payment that goes towards interest and the amount of that payment that goes towards the principal. And they're wanting you to kind of separate it out: first month, second month, third month, and so forth. So this is the problem I got. So you need to pay attention to make sure the numbers are the same, or they could be different for yours. So pay attention to that. Mine says a home mortgage of $160,000 with a fixed APR of 6% for 30 years. They want us to calculate at the end of month one how much interest was owed that month, and then of the payment that you made, how much of that payment went towards principal. So if you add the 800 and the 159.28, that gives you the payment, the monthly payment. And then your new principal is found by subtracting off the amount of your payment that went towards the principal from the $160,000 loan. So let me sort of show you how you can do this. I have this one written out, I think. So let's pull that one up. This one is 3C, number 8. So yeah, $160,000 mortgage, fixed APR of 6% for 30 years. So at the end of month one, they're wanting the interest, the payment to principal, the new principal. Okay, so let me sort of show you how I figured out the $800. Okay, the monthly interest is going to be your annual percentage rate, which is 6%, the 0.06, divided by 12. You're going to split that annual percentage rate into 12, by 12 because there's 12 months in a year. So the monthly interest rate is 0.005, okay, or 0.5%. So how do you figure out how much interest will be due on this mortgage for the first month? You take the total amount of the mortgage, which is $160,000, and you multiply that times the interest rate of 0.005. That gives you 800. So that's how we calculated the 800. Okay. Now, the next part, how much of the payment is going to go towards principal? Well, you have to figure out how much is the monthly payment for this situation. So you're going to use the payment formula that's on your formula sheet. Okay. And the payment formula, the payment is going to equal the principal times the APR divided by N. That whole thing divided by, and be very careful with your parentheses. Parentheses 1 minus, open parentheses 1 plus the APR divided by N. Close parentheses raised to the negative N times Y power. Okay, so we can calculate the payment, the monthly payment for this mortgage. We'll go ahead and substitute in what we know. The principal is the amount we're borrowing is $160,000. The APR is 0.06. We're going to divide that by 12. Then we fill in the rest of the formula here, the 0.06 divided by 12. That's raised to the power. Make sure you put a negative here. 12, making monthly payments, so N is 12 times 30, because this is a 30-year mortgage. Okay, and if you type this in correctly, go ahead. I didn't write it, but you need to put parentheses around the numerator too. I failed to write that down, so that when you're typing this in your calculator, you get this $959.28. So that's the monthly payment for this mortgage. Okay, you could have used Excel. You could have went into Excel, typed in equals payment, the payment function, and then you could have typed in the interest rate per month, which would be the 0.06 divided by 12, the number of payments, which would be 30 years times 12, which is what, 360 payments. And then the present value of the loan is 160,000, and then comma the future value, we want to pay that down to 0. So what I can show you that so you can see how to do that in Excel. So you just go to Excel, you can pick, I'll just clear out what I have in here. Pick any block, you type in equals PMT and parentheses, okay, and you type in your APR, which was 0.06 divided by 12, comma, the number of periods, that's going to be 30 years, whoops, excuse me, that's going to be 30 years times 12 payments for each year. Then it asks you for the present value of the loan is $160,000. And then the future value of the loan is 0, and we don't need type. So close parentheses, and there's your monthly payment, the $959.28. That's what we just calculated on the sheet that I just showed you. Okay, so let me go back to the sheet and I'll show you. So the monthly payment is $959.28. So to fill in this next little block here, they want to know out of that payment, how much is going towards the principal. We know that $800 of that payment is going towards interest for the first month. So where did the $159.28 come from? In order to calculate that, you take your monthly payment, you subtract off what you paid for interest, which is $800 for the first month, and that leaves you with the $159.28. So that's where this value came from. Okay, now the next box is asking you, what's the new principal after month 1? Well, you've paid $159.28 towards the principal. The total amount of the loan was $160,000. So to get the new principal, you will take the $160,000 and you will subtract off the $159.28, which leaves you with a new principal of $159,840.72. Okay, so I'll go back to show you where that is on your, so here's the 800, here's the payment amount that goes towards the principal, here's the new principal. Now, all you do is you just continue this process. So to do this next process for the month 2, okay, you're going to go through the same process. Okay, I didn't even finish the problem. I finished month 2, but I did not finish month 3. So what does that mean? So when you go back to your sheet that you're working on, and I'm going to do month 2 up under this month 1, the monthly interest will be, instead of putting $160,000, I'll put the new principal right here. I'll put the $159,840.72. I'll multiply that times 0.005. And when I multiply that, I will get the $799.20. That's where that came from. Okay. Now, the monthly payment is the same as it was. It's constant. The monthly payment is constant. So we're going to take the $799.20. We're going to subtract that from the payment. Okay. So we'll take the $959.28 and we'll subtract off. Now it won't be $800 for month 2. It's going to be the whatever it was. It was what was it? $799. It was, let's see, where was it? Where did I lose it? Number 8. Oh, $799.20. And you'll subtract the $799.20 from the payment of $959.28, and that will give you the payment towards principal, okay, which is $160.08. Now to get the new principal, you'll start with this principal at the end of month 1, and you'll subtract off the $160.08, and that will give you the new principal for month 2. Then you just continue the process for month 3. I hope this helps you. If it doesn't, let me know. You can call me or text me and I can explain more for this problem. Thanks.